What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller. As I play once again more of these catching up of All Elite Wrestling Review, this show of giving you AEW Dynamite results from June 11th, 2021. Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and good old JR Jim Ross are commentators at 30th place in Jacksonville, Florida. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. The opening match was Matt Hardy and Pinnacle. Actually, Matt Hardy and Pinnacle and Jack Evans are heading into the ring. Matt Hardy basically was hyping up the match which change to Christian Cage and Pinnacle. Now I don't remember if this was I and I'm pretty sure I remember because I covered it like one of the Dark edition episodes of it. It was on Elevation or it was on Dark. If it was on Dark, then I probably skipped it for a reason, because Dark on Tuesdays don't mean nothing to me other than matches. But if it was on Elevation, then that's probably why I may have mentioned it, but I can't remember. But basically, it was about the thing with Matt Hardy and Pinnacle and Jack Evans were chance to facing Christian Cage in the match, and Jack Evans was cutting his promo, like he's gonna he's gonna take care of Christian Cage, in a brutal way, that he's never forget and everything. And Matt Hardy's like, that's great, I love the passion, but I was actually talking about Pinnacle versus Christian Cage. Wow. Yeah, so a far passionate promo from Jack Evans was great, but it was wasted because it was Pinnacle that's going to be the one facing Christian Cage, not Jack Evans. So we get this match between Pinnacle being accompanied by Jack Evans and Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. So yes, I guess TH2 are now part of the Hardy family office, which I don't understand why they were not part of that in the first place, because they were associated with Matt Hardy before. But now I guess they made a deal, So there you go. It's whatever. So they had a match, back and forth action between Christian Cage and Pinnacle, with, guess who? Christian Cage winning. But it was a good match though. Good match. And there you go. After the match though, Evans and Hardy jumped in the ring. Christian Cage got rid of Evans, but Matt Hardy was still able to give them a source of faith. And Matt Hardy talks trash as Pinnacle stomps on Christian Cage. Also, Jungle Boy comes out for the save and clears the ring. And there you go. Some upcoming of shows for AEW, for example, when they get back on the Robot Way, which is great. July 7th, AEW Dynamite presents Road Rager, which is going to be in Miami, Florida. That means they'll be out of Jacksonville, Florida, which thank God. July 14th, Fighter Fest, Night 1 in Cedar Park, Texas. Texas. July 21st, I meant to say, excuse me, Fighter Fest 2. It's going to be in Garland, Texas. And July 28th, Fight for the Fallen in Charlotte, North Carolina. And there you go. Those were the lineups for AEW Dynamite special event shows on back on the road. So there you go. Hopefully they'll sell. We'll see. As far as what the match is going to be, they haven't talked about the matches yet, so we'll know once we get to it. When we get close to it. Tony Schiavone, he announces that Cody Rhodes and Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson, versus QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. I should say the next time I show, which I will do a review of that one when I get when I'm done playing catching up. So, but that's another look for this coming week. But Cody Rhodes comes out. That's another too. Cody Rhodes had a special announcement to make. Cody Rhodes comes out to the ring along with Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson. Where it seems to Brock is going to show the people what he's born on the third base, and he's very excited to show everyone what he can do in the ring. Cody Rhodes mentions that beating Anthony Ogogo, which I wish that didn't happen. Which brings up QT Marshall, who reminds Cody, who won the tag team match. Because QT Marshall came out, by the way. He came out to tell Cody Rhodes that he's tired of the Venice projects, like Brock, Brock Anderson. And Marshall is trying to show the second generation, it's tired of the second generation, nonsense and everything. Says that he wants to face Cody Rhodes in the South Beach strap match on July 7th in Miami. Well, that's one of the matches so far that's happening. From the show that the Dynamite's going to be calling Road Rager. So Marshall also sucks off his belt, gives a cheap shot to Arn Anderson, just pisses off Brock Anderson, goes after him and beats him up and everything. And and immediately referees come in to break it up. Out of nowhere, referees comes out. So there you go. But yeah, I did like that Brock Anderson was trying to defend his father's honor. So that was so exactly. And as far as the the promo itself and the segment, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. Pac, Penta El Zero Miedo, and Eddie Kingston teaming up. The enemy of my enemy are my friends. Facing the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler, the Elite, and Don Callis was always there too on commentary. So the match happens, pretty good match, and I love that the Pac and Penta Zero Miedo and Eddie Kingston working as a unit. Now Pac and Eddie Kingston was still having a little back and forth a little bit. But they still gel well as a tag team. They gel well. They put their hateful differences aside, and they worked very well. And Penta even was it feel like he's right back at home with Eddie Kingston of being to trust him again, to team up with him again, and it showed a lot of that. So it was good. It was pretty good that they did this. So I love the back and forth that match between the guys and all. In the end, and you have Brandon Cutler trying to cheat again, but he failed this time. And Brandon Cutler took the loss, by the way, in the match. Because of course he does. Of course he is. There's no way the Young Bucks going to lose, right? But Pac got the win over on Cutler. And there you go. But after the match, the Good Brothers come out and help out. Also, Frankie Kazarian comes out for the save. And I think they call him Frankie Kazarian the Elite Hunter. This reminds me of back when New Japan Pro Wrestling was doing the whole Bullet Club Hunter. You had Yoshitatsu part of that. If I recall, I could be wrong. I gotta look it up though, just to find out. But while I do that, excuse me, folks, for one moment. So it was Yoshitatsu, who used to be in WWE. Yoshitatsu, who was the leader of the Hunter Club, pertains to him being the Bullet Club Hunter against the Bullet Club back in 2013 when it first started, I believe it was. Because that was the year that Bullet Club was born. The original Bullet Club. Where you have guys like Billy Gunn, who's part of that as well. Because I had to remember this too. Because Billy Gunn, I could swear Billy Gunn was also part of that whole thing too, where he's a part of the Hunter Club against Bullet Club. And someone else too was part of that, which it was Mitsu Heidi Hirosora, and he was basically known as Captain New Japan with a mask on and everything. And then he turned on the faction, which was not much of a faction either way, to be called the Bone Soldier of Bullet Club, the original Bone Soldier, by the way. And be honest with you folks, that version of the Bone Soldier, it was unique in a way, wearing the mask, the Bone Soldier's mask and everything. But I thought he sucked. That's just the truth of my opinion of it. I thought he sucked. But whatever. But now we got Frankie Kazarian, who's now doing this whole thing where he's the Elite Hunter. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna say about that. And it's gonna be a match on the next Dynamite show, which we'll get to when we get to the we're catching up and everything. So a video package of that was made by Kenny Omega, Don Callis, and the company about the conspiracy to the title that Kenny Omega that they want to take the title off him and everything. Especially pertains to the whole clip of Orange Cassidy and Pac from Double Nothing, and I'm gonna say about that. So the Pinnacle comes out. It's about their loss from Double Nothing. MJF and the company are not in good mood. Dax Harwood says that they have a loss, meant to say, but the match wasn't meant for them. And he talks about how Santana Ortiz basically notes that both came into the company and and never been tag team champions in the AEW, but they have obviously FTR. So basically they accept the challenge and everything. That's basically what it was. And I thought it was a good promo there, by the way, by Dax Harwood and from Cash Wheeler. Also, we get Shawn Spears kind of promo about Sammy Guevara. Got his moment of the lifetime on Shawn Spears' expense and everything, saying that that Sammy isn't a hero. He's nothing more than a glorified indie wrestler. Says that he's the hero. Shawn Spears said that he's the hero, and they aren't finished. And basically, he starts calling this hateful promo to and everything, and I was loving it. And then all of a sudden they cut him off, and I said, "So what are you doing?" I finally get to see Shawn Spears, letting loose and everything of him kind of a very good promo, and they immediately cut him off. Like, what the fuck you doing? What are you doing? Because people always kept saying, what people don't see anything in Shawn Spears. Yeah, he's someone that that shouldn't be taken seriously. And after this, this whole thing I saw, this is his finally his moment to shine and everything, and he's a very good wrestler too. I'm not saying people think that he sucks as a wrestler, because he actually pretty good. People say that he's a good wrestler, but they don't see any other thing other than him just being a good wrestler. They just see him as just another body. And I hate when people say something like that about Shawn Spears. Finally, he's showing something on this show here, and then they took away from him. Like, this is the side of Shawn Spears I wanted to see, and then when he finally shows it, he finally shows that passion. They took it away from him. So I thought that was dumb. He said all the right things too. He said all the right things. Heel promo that Shawn Spears was cutting. So then Wardlow starts talking. Says to Jake Hager, saying that you're obsessed with him and everything, and says that come into your world. Well, guess what? When you're facing Wardlow, you're in my world. So I love that promo. I mean, it wasn't that great, but it was a clever promo though. And just because of promo says that he knows, he's the best. He doesn't have to prove the best against Chris Jericho, because he already beat him before. Basically, he says no to Chris Jericho. Also, we get to see the Inner Circle backstage. Jericho's current promo to MJF. Sammy Guevara, I think it was with Jericho too and all. Also, they were at the limo that the Pinnacle was riding on. By the way, I should mention this. The Pinnacle came in the limousine, the white limousine, earlier, and then as for Jericho and Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz, they all start bashing the and basically ruining the limo they came in, and then Jake Hager comes in with a forklift, rams it, and then turns it and everything, whatever, and yeah, and then also I forgot to mention this too, Santana, the tires popped off and everything. Not off the limo, but I'm just saying, basically, they got to find a way to leave the building. So yeah, there you go. Nobody say about that. Let's give again more Stone Cold Steve Austin vibes that the Inner Circle is doing. First, it was the whole little bit the bubbly spray to the Pinnacle. Now they're doing the same thing with the whole forklift with Jake Hager doing that whole thing. So, because Stone Cold is known to drive forklifts, a Zamboni, his own his own truck, even a monster truck. Yeah, that's very Stone Cold like. That's what they're doing. Darby Allin's thing, the response to Men of the Year, which is Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Darby Allin says that he's not replacing Sting. He was just taking him on in the handicap match and basically tells Sting to go home. Sting, was was not liking that. I don't think you should do it by yourself and everything, all that, blah blah blah. And then Darby Allin said, no, stay home, just stay home. And Sting said, are you sure that's what you want and everything? And then yeah. And he said, look, I respect you and everything. Darby Allin saying this, I respect you and all that, but please just stay home. And we'll get to when we get to when I get to that review. When I play catching up. So there you go. Darby Allin, doesn't want to replace Sting. So there you go. He's basically what Darby Allin's doing is what AJ Styles has been doing back in 2016 when he first came into WWE. Where it seems the whole thing with the Good Bros coming into WWE as well, where he doesn't need the help. He wants to do it on his own. So Darby Allin, he wants to do it on his own. So he basically what he's saying is, I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. I always love that. One of the things I miss about the Bliss team, it's having at the end of the day having a good time. Where it tends to watching pro wrestling, where it tends to the things that's been said, where it tends to the promos, or whatever. Even though where it tends to WWE is always scripted and all that, but it's always funny how they always got turned that into a theme, a joke in a way, like AJ Styles saying that I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. That's one thing I always miss about that. Unfortunately, that's gone now. So, anyways, but that was that. Even Uno says that he wants to make Brody Lee proud, the late Brody Lee. Makes him proud of when he brings back the TNT title back to the Dark Order. Said that he loves to see any member win the title, but he'd like to do it to validate his 17-year career in pro wrestling. So we get this match between Miro versus Evil Uno for the title, the TNT title that Miro's defending, and it was a very decent match between the two. We almost had Miro losing here because the Dark Order came out there, basically like some sort of distraction in a way, but in the end, Miro got the win over on Evil Uno with a game over and got the win. So there you go. And we all knew coming in. Oh crap! We all knew coming in the match that Miro was not gonna lose, obviously. So it's whatever. On the next Dynamite audition, Jim Ross sits down with Andrade El Idolo and basically show a face of Latino's hype video package for Andrade El Idolo, which I thought was decent. So Tony Schiavone, he talks with the AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and Don Callis. Tony Schiavone asked him about the conspiracy theory that's going on that they kept talking about. Don Callis says that it's a con job of epic proportions to take the title off of Kenny Omega. Callis tells Jungle Boy he's just one hit wonder. Omega says that he knows he's supposed to sell this coming up match with Jungle Boy is a massive challenge. But he says Jungle Boy actually reminds him of a young Kenny Omega. Maybe one day he'll be a champion, but he's missing something. And then Don Callis says that the one thing he missing is he doesn't have the guts in the ring. To get in the ring with Kenny Omega, I meant to say. Also Jungle Boy comes out. And then Kenny Omega says to Jungle Boy in his face that he has nothing to say because he's got no guts. and he wonders if Jungle Boy is going to get in the fight or in the battle of wits with the best on the mic. It says that Jungle Boy that he has to say, basically what he had to say, and the Jungle Boy responds by saying, "You talk too much." And the camera goes like, "Oh, I talk too much." Oh, and then they try to give him a cheap shot because apparently, saying to King Omega, you talk too much. Those are fighting words. So, fight me, fight me, fight me. So they start fighting, but Jungle Boy got the best of the fight by the way. And then Young Bucks came out. They came out for the save, and Jungle Boy got out there immediately, and that was it. And I said to myself, wait a minute, where's Luchasaurus? Where's Marco Stunt? Which I can remind everyone who stunned his growth. But they were not there though, so I don't get that. But whatever. I guess with Darby Allin, Jungle Boy wants to do it on his own. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. I love saying that by the way. It's one of those running theme jokes. Again from the Bliss team, which came from Billy. Billy mode. I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm gonna do it on my own. Anyways, I'm sorry, not Marco. Marco. Mark Sterling, meant to say, talks about Jay Cargill's stock is already going up with his help. They boost and freeloaders will make sure she's going to be a household name across the nation. She mentions waiting to capitalize on her catchphrase. Sorry, I'm not laughing because of that. I just thought something. I just thought something. Oh wow, that's why I'm laughing. She thought of a catchphrase for the other women in AEW that can't keep up. That can't keep her heart. That can't keep their mouth shut. And that is because I'm that. You know what? The B word. So. And no, I wasn't laughing because of that either. It was something else I was laughing about too. It was something else I was laughing about, I meant to say. But anyways. Middle of the year, they talk about Darby Allin, making a stupid decision. And he's going to regret that once they faces him in the handicap match. So, there you go. I'm going to say about that. Lance Archer, with Jake Roberts at ringside, immediately squashes Chandler Hopkins. And that was it. Moving on. Ryan Nemeth, along with JD Drake, Cesar Bononi, and Peter Avalon, say that Orange Cassidy is the worst dressed wrestler in the AEW. Yeah, that guy care. He offers a makeover on Cassidy and is going to get beat up by the group. And we'll get to that when we get to that on that Dynamite episode as well. Once we get to that review. Because next we get to Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero versus Layla Hirsch. Nyla Rose and Layla Hirsch had a decent match. I thought it was decent in a way. But this is all, to build up Nyla Rose going against Britt Baker in the future for the title. Which I'm assuming is going to be at Road Rager, or maybe at Fight for the Fallen. Maybe at Firefest, who knows? We'll find out. But I digress. But Nyla Rose didn't win the match though, so. Tony Schiavone, he talks with the AEW Women's World Champion, Britt Baker, and Rebel. Baker says that she was mad at Nyla Rose for ruining the celebration, but then she realized that Nyla Rose looked good flipping burgers. I agree. And maybe that's her thing. Britt Baker says that a champion, she's already on gaining a big corporation endorsements, and calls Nyla Rose one of the jealous, B words in the back. Says that she makes the title, but the title makes people like Nyla Rose. Good promo there from Britt Baker, by the way. Good promo there from Britt Baker. So, obviously, it's going to lead to a program, which it should mean that this time Britt Baker is going to beat Nyla Rose. And on top of that, these two have used to have a program before too. Those two, when Britt Baker was a face. So yeah, there you go. It wasn't very much of it either way, folks. Just like there wasn't much either way of Britt Baker and Bea Priestley, but there you go. Alright, so next review of Dynamite, folks. I will talk about the match between QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, with Mick Conrado at ringside versus Cody Rhodes, Brock Anderson, with Arn Anderson at ringside. The tag team match. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky versus Darby Allin in the handicap match. Penta Zero Miedo, Eddie Kingston, and Frankie Kazarian with Alex Ambra Hendez, who's with Penta Zero Miedo, versus Matt Jackson and the Good Brothers with Don Callis. And if you know what Don Callis, he's going to be on commentary. Jim Ross will have a sit-down interview with Andrade El Idolo, and I'll tell you about how I feel about that one. Orange Cassidy with Best Friends and Chris Stanlander at ringside versus Cesar Bonelli with the Wingmen at ringside as well. And I'll talk about that match when I get to that match too, on next review. And finally, the MMA Rules cage fight between Wardlow versus Jake Hager. And you're gonna hear a lot from me while I talk about that match too, folks. Right? Once we get to that review. Because now we get to the main event. Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Hangman Page and 10. 10's on commentary. I don't remember if Ricky Starks was there though. I know Hook was there though, but I don't remember if I mean, let's go through it though. But as far as the match though, I thought it was a good match though, back and forth and everything. Let me see. Ricky Starks just came out. He came out. Basically, they wanted to cheat. So I guess Hook wasn't there either. So I guess they stood in the back until they decided to come out. Cause it was time for them to cheat to win. Hook came out to interrupt the referee. A distraction. Ricky Starks throws in the belt. The FTW belt for Brian Cage to demuse. Brian Cage refused to do it. Ricky Starks slaps him. So Brian Cage goes right after Ricky Starks as he's running in the back and everything. Which leaves Powerhouse Hobbs to the wolves of Hangman and Page and 10. And in the end, it was the Hangman, Adam Page, and 10 getting the win. So Buckshot Larry by the Hangman, while 10 goes for the cover onto Powerhouse Hobbs. And there you go. And that was the main event, and that will conclude. Oh, and after the match, by the way, Dark Order came out to celebrate, and there you go. And that'll conclude your AEW Dynamite results from June 11th, 2021 on the Friday night. And yeah, there you go. Not much to say. I think it's about 6 matches. 6 matches. Yep, 6 matches. What to talk about. And my overall stream for the show. Now we're supposed to be on the show, the Asylum. We're supposed to do live reaction. I joined last minute basically, but I thought the show overall was pretty good. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So there you go. And that being said, thank you for watching. As I play catching up with all the wrestling reviews, this is Natural Born Thriller saying peace on the streets to all. Take care.